In today's clip, I'm going to talk about how my net worth is doing after this hell of a year. For someone who says they've retired early, has my net worth held up to my withdrawal rate? Or has it at least been staying even so that I can last indefinitely? Find out. Heyo, Zempak here. Another day not working for the man. So, I might as well give you guys an update on my net worth this time, okay? Because, I am talking about my life in fire, and people probably are wondering why I'm qualified to talk about this, right? So let's give you some sense of where I'm at. Okay. First, one has to define how to count the net worth, all right? I count it as not in the highest point of the year because my net worth is majority in stocks, and stocks can vary wildly during the year. This year, 2020, is a great example of this, actually. Okay, so what I do is that I take an average of all of my net worth by month numbers throughout the year, so this way we can take volatility into account. Okay, I also don't count the value of automobiles or jewelry or gadgets at all. Those items, once purchased, to me is worth nothing. Okay, I know that's not exactly true and their value can vary, but to be honest, I don't count them because if I didn't have them, I'd expect to replace them, so I simply ignore those items entirely. So 2 years into my post-fire life, really, what has happened? Well, first we got to look at the macroeconomic circumstances, right? 2019, generally, it's been seen as a very good year for the market. Whereas 2020, holy crap, I call it just one big roller coaster ride, right? Now, I actually look at 2020 as a giant plus because this is a wonderful test case for the sequence of risk scenario where people could actually get into real trouble when they retire and immediately run into a dip early in the distribution period, okay? And then it becomes prohibitively difficult to recover from because, you've already left your job, so there's no other source of income to kind of to supplement yourself, right? I didn't get that on year one, but I did on year two, and I think this totally counts because in 2020 there's definitely people who were selling all their stocks, right? Just scared and running scared because of this macro worldwide pandemic, and it's reasonable, right? I think it's totally reasonable. And before I get to the numbers, I still yet have to list my caveats in the form of expenses that I didn't expect when I first hit fire, and it was just me living a regular, relatively simple life. Okay. So, in year one of my post-fire life, 2019, I had a huge unexpected tax bill. It's in the six figures of extra taxes that I needed to pay for the previous year because of the changes that the Orange Douche's tax plan, how they treated like stocks and so forth, okay? So that tax bill is one. I was also wooing my now wifey, and I got her an engagement ring in 2019, and you guys know those things are not cheap. So outside of my normal living expenses, there were all of these quite heavy amount of unexpected expenditures in year one, okay? And in year two, 2020, we had to move, we had to wedding plan and get that done, though no expensive ceremony this year due to the pandemic. Bought wifey her might as well be new car, and we also just bought another house and just started renovations this year as well. So again, all this in addition to what I am now paying for the regular living expenses of two people rather than one. Okay, so those are my caveats per year, right? So with all these major hits in the last 2 years, extra hits, okay, how's my net worth holding up? Surprise, surprise, my net worth still increased on average on top of these caveats and the regular living expenses, at least 6 figures per year, okay? Now, hey, my data sample size is only 2 years so far, but considering the shiznit show that is the current year of 2020, I'd like to think we're covering a good gamut for the margin of error just 2 years in, okay? Yeah, so think about that for a moment. This is why when people I know say to me, hey, why don't you get a job again? My answer is always, Why would I? Okay, why would I? I mean, if every year was like 2019, I think I might have developed a false sense of security, to be honest, okay, because the market was doing so well last year. But after 2020, my God, I think I've been tested, okay? My net worth dropped quite a bit this year, mid-year. Yet somehow, by now, the end of the year, even based on the average for the whole year, I'm doing great. Without a job, without the fear of somehow losing my stability based on employers who themselves are not doing so hot, okay? Feeling real heat this year. When people think of retirement, I think often they're imagining a certain scenario where they might run out of money, right? Like they accumulate and then you get to distribution and people are afraid of running out on the distribution side, right? I'm still increasing my net worth, as I've just told you. And I did so almost completely passively, okay? I spent my days learning new languages, new skills, and trying out making this YouTube thing work, okay? Believe me, YouTube's not making me any money, okay? How many people do you know that can afford to do that, okay? This is not a side gig. This is just for fun, okay? This is why I think I'm definitely qualified to at least give someone life advice, all right? Like I said, I'm a dummy, so if I can do this, so can you. Please, let me know if you have any questions on how to get further along in your FIRE journey, okay? In the meantime, check out some more videos on the corners. Cheers.